Hi guys. What's cracking? Today I have the very special and very fitting for the month of June collector's edition entertainment, the ultimate guide to Rupaul's drag race. That A is so fun to do. Inside the work room, from club kid to superstar, I feel very lucky. Forward by Michelle Visage. While I read this, oh, FYI, entertainment, please, Entertainment Weekly, do not come for me. I'm supporting you, I bought this. I love ice sounds. I tried to get the pineapple passion fruit refresher, but it was all sold out. Okay. So starting off, we have like the workroom color. You know that wall that's like a green screen, but like it looks like a real room. Right here we got Rupaul standing on a whole lot of money. I love his shoes in this. She looks beautiful. You can tell Raven did her makeup. Her wig is stunning. Oh, and I love how there's fish. She's wearing these very subtle fishnets that are like flesh colored and in like a leotard. Beautiful kind of Marilyn Monroe eye. The ultimate guide to Rupaul. We have a table of content. I don't know if we'll read everything, but we'll try. Forward. There's Michelle Visage and Rupaul. Forward. My friend Rue. It's hard to believe that an incredible force such as Rupaul didn't materialize fully formed on a half shell. On the half shell. But everyone has started. Sorry. Let's just start over. It's hard to believe that an. Oh my god. It's hard to believe that an indefinable force such as Rupaul didn't materialize fully formed on the half shell. But everyone has to start somewhere. And Rue's friend and colleague Michelle Visage has been there for nearly every incarnation. She reflects on the years Rue's uncanny ability to spot and support stars, the impact of the drag race, and what's yet to come. My first recollection of Rue was when we were working for the club party in Spasario. Oh my god, this is so bad. Susan Barsh, who is still throwing parties in New York. She hired me to run a voguing troupe, and Rue was working as Rue. All these amazing people were at Susan Barsh's parties a few nights a week. They weren't just like once a month. I had somewhere to be almost every night, and I remember always seeing Rue. She would tower over even the tallest person in the club with hair, heels, and attitude. Rue has this energy that you can't deny, whether you know who Rue is or not. At the time, it must have been 1988. The local Fox channel was doing a piece on voguing, and they wanted to interview me. This was before Madonna's song came out. I walked into the dressing room of the club for the interview and saw that Rupaul was there. Rue walked over with a drink in hand and said, "Hey girl." And it has always been a hey girl, hey type of thing. No relationship, no conversation. I got into the girl group Seduction in 1989. I wasn't able to go to the clubs as much. The group formed at the Red Zone, which was a very big New York club at the time. And unbeknownst to me, Rue was there. Flash forward to 1992, and I have my song on the Bodyguard soundtrack, and Rue came out with Supermodel. We were asked to do this dance music seminar in New York City, and in the green room, I walked over to Rue and said, "I don't know if you remember me." And he stopped me and said, "Not only do I remember you, but I've been watching you for years. I was at the Red Zone the night you performed. You're a fucking superstar." At that moment, it stuck with me forever, because nobody ever told me that in my life, apart from my mother. I was the only one who thought I was going to be the next Madonna. So to have someone like Rue, who was this larger than life, who I secretly would watch and revere secretly, say that, it was validation. I think that is a foundational thing about Rue. Rue brings out the best in people, but not only that, he helps them bring out the best in themselves, and I think that's the most important component. He doesn't do things for people. It's not like he's sitting there handing things out. He makes you realize your own... Before we flip, a little face brushing. I love the blush she's wearing. Blush, 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 blush. We got Michelle Visage in a nice blonde wig. We have Rupaul, I think, interviewing Madonna when he had his primetime TV, like his interview show. Then we have her album from Seduction. Abilities and how to facilitate them. He makes you realize you're so much more than you ever thought you were. The few times that I have fallen and went to him for guidance as a friend, he'd say, "I wish you could see yourself through my eyes. You wouldn't ever doubt yourself if you could see what I could see." That's a powerful thing to say. Drag has always been a part of my life. I call myself a super fan #1 because I was there from the beginning and I love it. After I moved to New York in 1986, I got involved in the ballroom scene and I would go out to the house and say, "Who wants to come see this drag show?" And some people would go, "What do you care? Why do you love drag so much?" And I'm talking about gay men. They did not care about drag. Drag was very marginalized. I went to drag bars and Wigstock, but when we were hanging out on Christopher Street Piers in New York, there weren't any drag queens hanging out with us. It was all ballroom kids and kids who were thrown out of their houses and kids living on the street. There were trans people who weren't called trans people at the time, and queer and gay kids. AIDS was still new and wiping people out. It was a very dark time in the gay community. We would lose friends all the time. If it wasn't to AIDS, it would be to drugs. And if it wasn't to drugs, it was through crime scenes. The light of that time was that we had each other. We were a family, all of us. Even if we were competition on the ballroom floor, we all found ways to love one another at the piers. Times have changed. Drag has grown over the years with the help of Rupaul's Drag Race. We've launched an entire visible, viable art form. It's always been there. It's always been art. We didn't create drag. It's been around long before, and it'll be there long after. But what we did is bring an extremely loud platform for these artists. And it's the most rewarding thing to see. It's grown to the point where everybody and anybody knows what it is. And there are so many people doing it and different variations of drag, and all thanks to Rupaul's Drag Race. Rupaul, and of course you can't forget Logo. RuPaul's Drag Race was a queer television show and made for queer people by queer people on a very queer small network that took a risk with us and our little TV show. And the rest is history. Ru has grown over the years too. When I met him, he was drinking. He stopped soon after we started the radio show at WKTU, and he's clean for years and years and years. It was a life-altering decision he stuck with and never looked back. Ru has always been a very spiritual person, godlike in many ways, a deity. He's always been very sound and very smart and very opinionated and fun. But he has grown so much spiritually, and he continues to work on that. I've learned a lot about doing that for myself through him. People don't always recognize what a remarkable human being he is. He's evolved and is so grounded. And when I think about where Ru will be in 10 or 15 years, it's exactly where he is now, and I'll be right there next to him. And you can see, I'm going to zoom everyone at DragCon. I assume they're celebrating the 100th episode. Oh my god, you can see how big Ru truly is. Becoming Rupaul. Oh my god. She looks so young. Look at her teeth. Look at that lip liner. You know how like everyone overlines her lips? She underlined her lips. And this is Rupaul from 1979. A young Rupaul posed for photographer Al Clayton in 1987 as part of a series, Drag Queens and Club Kids. Rupaul was born to be famous. happy little mom tattoo. Cute little headpiece. Whole outfits. Quite a look. Before RuPaul, Andres Charles was born in San Diego in 1960. A psychic told his pregnant mother two things: that the baby would be a boy and that he would be famous, and girl, would he ever. Whenever you watch all 14 seasons of his turn as Emmy-winning host of the reality TV show RuPaul's Drag Race, or only know him as the guiding voice behind "You Better Work" and Sashay, Shantae, RuPaul has been knocking his heels around pop culture for more than 30 years, changing the game for the LGBTQ representation moment by moment along the way. Drag, that ancient act of one gender dressing as another, had been long marginalized art form. But RuPaul used it to build an empire as one of the first performers to break into the mainstream as an author, actor, and model, TV host, and recording artist. As EW discovered in speaking to Ru, and a roster of crucial people who witnessed his ascend into history stardom, wasn't an accident for the man who had become the world's most influential drag queen. It was really simply a matter of destiny. Queen of Manhattan. Even when he was 12 years old in San Diego, Ru's focus on fame propelled every choice he made. RuPaul, I feel I've always shaped from birth. I was always super sensitive and very observant, and I felt like I was a little boy who fell to earth until I found music, laughter, and colors in Monty Python's Flying Circus on PBS. That's when I realized my tribe existed, that they were out there. I knew I couldn't go directly to Los Angeles, so I moved to Atlanta when I was 15. I went to the School of Performing Arts, worked in my family business selling used cars for 6 years, and then started my act. I found my tribe, people who were sweet, sensitive, and had figured out a way to navigate life. I never knew RuPaul was a used car salesman. Maybe that's why she's so convincing. He spent his early 20s dancing up a reputation in Atlanta through club acts, public access TV, and amateur movies featuring an original character, undercover model star Booty. Discovering the city to be a mecca for drag queens, Ru began wearing sloppy, rebellious, gender-defying outfits to get a rise out of everyone. RuPaul, drag was a tool. It was the most punk rock, anti-establishment thing we could do. It had nothing to do with being gay, and nothing to do with wanting to be a woman. It was about challenging ideals of identity and making a political statement against the preppy Reagan 80s and the existing drag community. Lady Bunny. Oh, I saw her live in DC. The status quo of drag was old school, beautiful queens who spent a fortune on costumes. We were broke, bought whatever we could squeeze into from thrift stores. One of Ru's early looks was a fisherman's wading boots and garters and a ripped t-shirt. We didn't want any polish. In Atlanta, Ru met two young musicians who would later become his managers. Fulton Bailey, co-founder of World of Wonder. When we met, he was a wheat pasting posters of himself. RuPaul is everything. It was so symbolic because it was fundamental message of Ru from the beginning. You have to hustle. Rue wasn't sitting around waiting to be discovered. I'm gonna skip a little. Look at these photos. Look at Rue. This Pop-Tarts shirt. I think that's Kurt Cobain. And that's Francis. Yeah, it is. Go figure. Look at Rue again. I feel like we've all seen this photo of her. I'm just gonna read the Rue quote. I decided I wasn't going to do Black Hooker. I was going to do Glamazonian. I can't even talk sometimes. I was going to do Glamazon. Oh my god. I decided I wasn't going to do Black Hooker. I was going to do Glamazon Supermodel. And one day, my friend DJ Larry T called me and said, Rue, we've noticed you've been doing a supermodel look now. I've written down some lyrics to a song. I need you to hear this. And this is about Rue writing supermodel. You better work. Okay. Skip that. Oh, I love this outfit. I want to wear that. Rue has such a nice body. Just gonna read. This is Rue being interviewed by Cindy Crawford. Singing with Joan Rivers. And being the face of MAC. I remember the lipstick Rupaul by MAC for MAC's charity. Goes towards AIDS, which is pretty cool. I'm just gonna read the Rupaul's quotes. A model in contract as the face of MAC Cosmetics Viva Glam line. Rupaul, I took the sexualized raunchiness out. The Glamazon Supermodel was a caricature that you could bring home to meet mom and dad. I was well spoken. I was Miss Black America. I knew based on questions I was asked that my days of having fun in drag were over. It was clear I had to represent a faction of society that didn't have a voice. Barbados. He was able to put people at ease. When he was on Arcio, he was like, I'm just a regular Joe with the ability to accessorize. He invited everyone in, and you could say that that was calculated, but it was always just who Rupaul is and always has been. Frank Tuscan, co-founder of MAC Cosmetics. Everyone was wondering why we never had a face for our product line, and I don't think we would have ever had not come up with Rupaul. A light bulb went off. I couldn't see anybody representing us like Rupaul could. He wasn't just another pretty face. He embodied integrity and compassion and intelligence in one beautiful package. It was very controversial. There were questions in the beginning. People applauded and celebrated us by the end. Lady Bunny. The only way the mainstream had embraced drag was to have men in Some Like It Hot doing drag because they were hiding. I love that movie so much. Tootsie, a guy unable to find work, Mrs. Doubtfire. There was always a reason. Rue didn't need a reason. there was a huge benchmark for him to say, I want to do drag because I look gorgeous, don't you agree? And for the world to say yes. I'm gonna skip around a little. Rupaul dancing, some sexy menzies. Rupaul, that's Nina Flowers. I think that's from season 1. No, it's from Drag You. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I'm like, not all these people were on season 1 with a freak. Though. Oh my god, I love these outfits. It doesn't get more classy than RuPaul than as a blonde bouffant wig paired with a curve-hugging black bustier dress from 1992. She looks really good. Her legs, oh gosh, and her arms, oh gosh. I love this hairstyle. She looks like Marilyn Monroe. Oh, and then the pink. This one's for an AIDS charity. I love this one for VHS. Oh, and then a tribute to Diana Ross. I guess these both are like kind of Diana Ross inspired. Queen of all media, of course. You better work. Is that Larry King and Elton John? He looks so young in that. Oh, that's Nicole Smith. Anna Nicole Smith, what the fuck? Sorry, Anna Nicole Smith. I apologize for my really foul language. I feel like we're just chilling, like, though, as, like, friends. You know, flipping through a magazine together. I'm getting a little hot, so I might have to cut our hand section off. This is everything RuPaul did as media star. I love AJ and the Queen. I watched that on Netflix. It was pretty good. I think I watched it twice. Oh, Lady Bunny. She's so funny. If anybody gets the opportunity, I 10 out of 10 recommend coming to her show. Oopsie, my feet are in frame. Look at Michelle Visage and RuPaul in a golf cart. Working on screen. So here's some movies RuPaul's done, / just screen work. The B-52's Love Shack music video in 1989. Love Shack was a big comeback song for the B-52s, and the music video, directed by Adam Bernstein, won 2 Moon Men at the 1990 MTV Music Awards. Keep your eyes peeled for a peek at RuPaul as gorgeously wigged dancer wearing next to nothing, because it's as hot as an oven in this throwback to the days when we all wanted our MTV.